Joel Webbin invited me onto his podcast, and he was very interested in my take. And I was talking about Christian Patriot because he's coming from a Reformed Calvinistic Baptist worldview. We got into infant baptism. And I think one big issue with the Christian Patriot movement with Protestants is if your worldview incorporates the concept or the conviction that when a baby is born to Christian parents, this is the Baptist point of view, you should not baptize the baby because the baby has to wait until it's old enough to decide on his or herself to be a Christian. If you take that heretical Protestant Baptist belief to its logical extreme, you get all kinds of social chaos. When we have a baby, Joy and I, we don't say, well, should we put Marshall on the birth certificate? After all, maybe the baby doesn't want to be a Marshall. Shouldn't we let the baby grow up and then when the baby's 7 to 10 years old, say, do you want to be a Marshall? You do? Okay, well, let's write Marshall on your birth certificate. Or even more perfidious is the idea that when a child is born, you don't assign the gender, male or female. You wait for the child to turn 15, you send them to a liberal public school, and when they're there hanging out with furries, you say, do you want to be a boy or girl, one of these others on the chart? Oh, okay, that's what you choose, that's what we're going to identify you with. No. Rational people, Christian people, people in the Old Testament, people in the New Testament, assumed and presumed that their babies that were born into their house belonged to God. They belong to the household of God, and they should be baptized as soon as possible. A, for the remission of original sin. B, to infuse them with sanctifying grace, justice, faith, hope, and charity. And C, to make them living members of the body of Christ, the Holy Catholic Church. So the whole Baptist idea that we're going to delay in presuming identities for our children is anti-Christian civilization. And this is why Anabaptist movements have never been able to create a Christian civilization, because it's ultimately based on nominalism and it's ultimately based on a voluntary presupposition on what is Christendom. It's just a bunch of volunteers. Or are we enrolling our children day one, as soon as they're born, get them baptized? We are training them to be warriors of Jesus Christ, which is part of confirmation. St. Alphonsus Liguori said it was a sin to delay baptism more than 10 days. I believe John Paul II said it was 3 weeks. We have tried to get our babies baptized within the first week. Certainly waiting and waiting and waiting is, traditionally in the Catholic Church, it's a mortal sin. Not 3 months, not 3 years, 3 weeks, 21 days. Get that baby baptized. Alphonsus Liguori, Franco, reminds us 10 days.